If you're going to attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well.
Why are we all still doing stuff like this, thinking it's going to change our body? Seriously, what are we doing here, guys? Don't you maybe wish that you had, I don't know, don't you wish you had someone to call bullies out in the gym? Well, you do. Enter Joey Swole. Yeah, actually enter, get into your car. Dope. If you don't know who this man is, somehow you've evaded somebody with 8 million followers on TikTok. 8 million followers who watch him do content like this all the time. Years ago, Joey Swole was selling people supplements that either didn't work or were dangerous. Today, he's a Gymfluencer whose content revolves around calling out bullying in the gym. Taking people who are recording people without consent, recording in the locker room, making fun of people just trying to make their bodies better or getting in the gym for the first time, and saying, hey, don't do that. The gym is a place for everyone. And that's a good thing to do. I agree. As someone who was in the gym pretty often until I was around 21, I remember what it was like walking in for the first time as a teenager and thinking, what am I supposed to do? Treadmill? Lift? How do I lift? And looking probably pretty stupid, just texting while full sprint running on the treadmill. And it would have been weird for someone to record me mocking me and put that on the internet. And it would have been dope to have someone like Joey Swole say, don't do that. That part of his message, I completely agree with. The part that I don't agree with is where he cosplays as Hulk Hogan, gets told, hey, Hulk Hogan was racist, and then doubles down on defending him. And this is where I start to lose people. This is where people go, but Max, you don't get it. Hulk Hogan was such a large part of wrestling, bro. You don't even know wrestling. Here's a picture of me next to Seth Rollins and a video of him giving me a monkey flip when we were messing around one day. I've lived a much too long life and I know wrestling much more than I would like to. I am a lot closer to most of these people than pretty much any wrestling fan is ever going to be. I love Seth Rollins a lot, and for a long time he was like a father figure to me if he had had me when he was 13. I call him Colby, and I'll forever be grateful for the time he gave me. That being said, if tomorrow a video was posted where Colby, Seth Rollins, said something like, I'd rather she was going to go some black man. I'd rather have her marry an 8 foot tall, worth $100 million like a basketball player. I guess we're all a little racist. About his own daughter getting into a relationship with a black man, I wouldn't defend him. I wouldn't say, well, no, he was nice to me. I wouldn't say, yeah, but he means a lot to wrestling. I would say, gross, racist, that sucks. And I would understand why some people would celebrate his death and at the same time not want other people celebrating his life. I get it. He meant a lot to you growing up. He unfortunately meant a lot to the wrestling business. But so did Vince McMahon. And if you don't know what Vince McMahon did, I'm going to let you Google it, but I'm also not going to defend that man when he dies. We're going to crawl this back to Joey Swole. So Joey Swole decides to honor Hulk Hogan's death by posting this picture where he had dressed up as him. And plenty of the people in his comments, enough for him to notice that, hey, Joey, not cool. He was racist. And Joey, I'm going to go ahead and say, probably didn't know. Joey probably hadn't seen a video, which I think happened after a sex tape. Maybe I was a child of Hulk Hogan casually dropping the N-word and talking about how he didn't want his daughter dating one of those people. If you weren't involved in wrestling or watching TMZ at the time, you probably just hadn't seen it. So his comments told him about it. And to his credit, he apologized. He watched it, he said, whoa, that sucks. And wait, no, he didn't. He said,
listen, I can post Hulk Hogan if I want to. Just because somebody makes a mistake in their life doesn't mean that they haven't done good things. I don't know what he did, and he said something 20 years ago and apologized for it. If you're going to attack me, you better go after the colored athletes and the people that are black and minority that went and posted him as well. Okay, the man was nice to me. He made a mistake. I'm not God. People make mistakes in life. If you got a problem with that, look at yourself. There's not one single person in here that hasn't made a mistake in their life. So
there is so much to unpack there. Going live and going, I'm sure you did some bad things. I don't know what they are. When you probably could have Googled for 20 seconds before doing this to yourself. Okay, whatever. You know what? Fine. It was 20 years ago. I think it was closer to 10. However, Hulk Hogan is 71. I'm not going to excuse the man's first 61 years because the last 10 he was like, oh, I got to go out looking good. The man was nice to me. He made a mistake. I've said this before in probably half of the videos I've ever posted. Some of the biggest racists I've ever met have been very nice to me. They've been really, really nice to me. And then they casually drop a, hey, but what about, or they wait for me to leave and they go, wow, he's one of the smart ones. It's all happened before. It'll happen again. Someone being nice to you doesn't mean they're a good person. It means they were nice to you. But the part that upset people, and rightfully so, was when he said, if you're going to get mad at me, you better get mad at all the colored athletes. And I'm going to assume that you can probably infer that in 2025, we're not referring to people as colored. We're just not. You want to say person of color? Sure. And I understand that for a lot of people, there's just semantics. These are just words. And when they're mistakes, they're mistakes. But when they are aggressive and pointed, you can feel why they are racist. If you've never had to deal with racism, that's fantastic. Good for you. I wish I was you. But when you have, you understand that these words aren't fun. They immediately, whether meant to or not, trigger your fight or flight response. And I like that quote where it's a penguin and he goes, I'm a flightless bird. Anyway, again, immediately after having to defend himself from people calling him racist for defending Hulk Hogan, he has to now defend himself against people calling him racist for, and I'm going to say accidentally, saying something in a racist way.
I owe my followers, my community, and all of social media an apology. A few days ago, I reposted an old video of me in the gym wearing a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume on the day that he passed. Last night in my live stream, a lot of people expressed how upset and frustrated they were with me that I had posted that. Instead of listening and understanding like I should have, I became defensive and said that I was posting to celebrate the wrestling icon, the person that so many of us looked up to as kids that we grew up with, that made us tear our shirts and take our vitamins and say our prayers. I didn't know to the extent of all the horrible things that he had done. Since last night, I have done a lot of research, talked to a few people, and learned all of the horrible, horrible things that that man has done.
And this is where we find ourselves at a bit of an impasse with social media. Where do you separate the artist from the art? Where do you separate the person that Hulk Hogan was on screen and to so many people who didn't know him from the person that he was in his real day-to-day life? Where do you separate Hulk Hogan, the Hulkamaniac, the Hulkster, the real American, whatever his intro song was, from the estranged father whose daughter didn't want to be in his will? And you don't. It's so common that we hear, well, I separate the art from the artist. And that is meant to be when a regular person writes a book or a song or a movie about murder. That's just a person writing a fictional story. It doesn't work the other way around. If Ted Bundy wrote a book and the book was really good, I wouldn't be like, ah, yeah, but the book is good. I'd be like, I'm not really into the idea of supporting a murderer. That's weird. I don't care what Hulk Hogan has done for the industry. And if you ever watched a Hulk Hogan match, you know he actually wasn't that good. He was stiff and annoying to work with. He put every guy he ever worked with under. He refused to be a good worker until what? The year 2000 when he was irrelevant? Again, he did a lot to grow wrestling, but I'm a big believer in, if not him, someone else. I really do believe that if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else. The same way that wrestling hasn't imploded just because Steve Austin or The Rock stopped wrestling. Just because Triple H is no longer in the ring, Shawn Michaels is retired, The Undertaker is old, John Cena is balding. Wrestling is fine. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's still growing. If you look at Vince McMahon's net worth, it's $3 billion, and it wasn't $3 billion while Stone Cold was around. Wrestling is going to grow, regardless of the people in it. So I would like to think that we want the people in it to not be bad people. But back to Joey. He finally looks up what Hulk Hogan did, and he says, my bad, I'm sorry. If it weren't for the immediate doubling down, I think it would have been a lot easier to accept his apology. And it's not up to me to accept it. I'm just here to report what's happening. But I talk about racism a lot and the racism that I've had to deal with. And I don't usually have a problem with what people say the first time. The amount of times I've been accidentally called a wetback is nuts, considering it's from people who don't know that's a term. I had an Australian Twitch streamer call me a wetback on Twitter. And if you don't know what wetback is, it is a slur for my people. It is a Mexican slur. I remember posting on Twitter about my girlfriend at the time, making fun of me for not drying my back off when I got out of the shower. And I was like, oh, that's a man thing. And I tweeted, men, why don't we dry our backs off in the shower? And someone responded to me and went, we do, but I know you're a wetback now. And I knew this person was not from the US and probably did not think that went through. So I responded, hey dog, I'm going to let you Google that. Get back to me in an hour. And a few hours later, in my Discord DMs, I had a 3-4 page long apology of him being like, I had no idea. And I laughed. It was funny. It was accidental. He didn't mean anything by it. I was like, no, dog, you're good. If Joey Swole had dressed up as Hulk Hogan and then taken the backlash and gone, oh, maybe I shouldn't have celebrated him. I wonder what he did, and did a very fast Google search, he would have been fine to just say, I'm sorry. It's a doubling down. Not only the doubling down, but then throwing in the word colored in there like it's a fun thing to say. That becomes a problem. So now you have a few things to apologize for, and I wonder if the apology is going to be any good. And I'm not here to judge his apology. I'm not that dude on the internet who the Critter Clash guy was crying to. I'm not caught up on YouTube drama.
And learned all of the horrible things that that man has done, which is way more than just making a mistake and being human. So because of that, I have taken the videos down, and I apologize to anybody that I offended. I am sorry. Also, during last night's live stream, I used the word colored instead of saying person of color, which is a very outdated, very offensive term. A few moments later, somebody educated me and told me that it wasn't okay to use that, which I immediately apologized to everyone and said I would never do that again. So once again, to anybody that I offended, I am sorry. You know, my whole page, my whole brand is based on holding people accountable and doing better. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself to the same standards. I am human, I am still growing, I am still learning, and I promise all of you, I will do better. I have nothing but love and kindness in my heart. I will continue to try to make the world a better place, and once again, to everybody, I apologize.
He apologized. The man who has built his entire brand around criticizing others, holding them accountable, and expecting them to change has apologized. The thing about apologies, regardless of how many people do, enough people won't forgive you. Regardless of the amount of people that go, okay, you've apologized, let's not do that again. You're going to get more than enough people on both sides of whatever politics you're on who go, that's kind of whack, isn't it? So here's where we're at. We have enough people on the side of you offended us saying, we're not forgiving you, and you have a ton of people on the side of you should never apologize to the woke mob going, wow, I can't believe you bent the knee to them. You're such a loser. Never bend a knee to the woke mob and never apologize to them. They don't believe in forgiveness and will eat you alive if you show weakness. They can only be defeated with strength. Just keep doing you and ignore these hateful psychos. And his replies are just flooded with people like this. It's overwhelming, actually. It is definitely more people going, wow, can't believe you bent the knee to the woke mob almost verbatim, than it is people being like, still racist. Or like, we don't accept your apology. And calling Hulk Hogan an American icon, which I guarantee you they wouldn't do if he hadn't been racist. I'm hoping they're all bots, but Twitter is a cesspool that I am unfortunately addicted to. It does, however, seem that they got into his head because he decided to post this. All the good I've done, all the people I've helped, all for nothing. I truly hope all the people I've inspired do great things in their life and pay it forward to help others and carry on my message. But no matter how much good you do, people just wait for a reason to hate you and tear you down. You either die a hero or live long enough to be the villain. Thank you for the support. I'm done. Brother, all you were asked to do was apologize for being accidentally racist. That's all that was. That's all you had to do. Or you could have doubled down on it, which you kind of did, and then apologized for that later. It's not that hard. You apologize and you move on. And you're going to get people on either side who are trolling you and attacking you the entire time. But I'm sure you get that in your videos anyway. There's no way you make it to 8 million followers without having people in your comments being negative. You make videos where you comment on people going to the gym and go, don't do that. It's really not that deep. How can you be the guy whose entire brand is criticizing others and expecting them to do better, and then completely fold to being criticized? The second somebody criticizes you, you go, okay, well, I guess I'm just done. I guess I'm just never posting on the internet. I guess you all just hate me now. I guess I'm going to be Joey's swollen eyes now because my eyes are going to be swollen from crying because all you want to do is hurt my feelings. But whatever, I guess that's the end, right? He's just off the internet for good. Done. Completely gone. Psych, this is from 2 days ago.
Love me or hate me, I am not going anywhere, and you are not going to cancel me. I just needed a few days to step back, to breathe, to get my mind right. And over those few days, I received thousands and thousands of messages from people telling me, do not quit. How much I help and inspire them, including messages giving me a good kick in the ass that I needed to get back up. So I am not quitting, and I am done apologizing.
I'm going to continue making videos calling out bullies, being a voice for the people that can't defend themselves, and making the gym community and the world a better place, as I have done for years. Starting with this video right here.
It took him a few days to decide, no, I'm Joey Swole, I'm uncancelable, and go back to making his content where he just criticizes people at the gym for criticizing others. Again, the content's fine. My problem is, this is the guy we're supposed to listen to now? The guy who can't take criticism? Why don't you make a video criticizing yourself? Why don't you stitch a video of yourself going, get mad at all the color creators and go, wow, this is the kind of energy we have from our gym influencers? This is who we want to listen to? This is who we want to follow? Someone who can casually say something, I'm going to say again, accidentally racist, and then double down on it so it's no longer an accident, and then decide, you know what? I don't care. If you were offended by that, then that's a you problem. That's the kind of people we want at the top of the influencing space. Here's the thing, right? There's nothing special about Joey Swole or what he does, in the same way that you could say that about me. He's a 5'6" bald white guy who wears a backwards hat and goes to the gym. Not a very uncommon thing to see. And he blew up making commentary videos about people who go to the gym on TikTok. The least you could do is at least try to be a good person. And that means when you accidentally, again, I'm just going to give you that first one, say something racist, you apologize and you mean it. You want to come back? Come back. No one was trying to cancel you. It's not that deep, dog. You weren't canceled for begging people who posted pictures with Donald Trump for follows. You weren't canceled for posting pictures with RFK Jr., who's always wearing jeans on hikes and in the gym for some reason. You're not canceled for being a white guy who did racism. You said Hulk Hogan was your hero growing up. You might as well emulate him. Personally, if I have 8 million followers on TikTok and I've made all the money I need, cancel me. Or don't. Or cancel myself. I don't know if you've seen the TikTok trend where people cancel themselves. It's actually really funny. I'll do it. I'll stand here and pretend I did something I didn't do just to get me out of here. I've never followed Joey Swole. He's popped up on my FYP a few times, and I've watched a good amount of those videos. If you enjoy his content and you follow him, cool. It's kind of just whatever. My problem with him is the problem I've had with every other person I've met who's said or done something racist. It is a doubling down. It is, well, actually, as a white guy, I'm the expert on race, and I'm not racist because my heroes weren't racist. Checkmate. Liberals. And I'm gonna let you all go there. Thank you for spending time with me. It's my favorite thing to do. You're my favorite people to do with. Toast in the other room. So it's just me. Sorry. If you have other gym influencers that you actually like and would like to recommend them to other people who may want to follow those type of accounts, go ahead and name them in the comments. The gym is not a small place. I've seen so many Sam Solik videos. I've seen so many Beefcake Patty videos, and they seem like regular people. So I'm gonna leave it there. Happy August. I will hopefully be seeing you all a lot this month. All right, get out of here. Go.